Hey guys, welcome back. I want to talk to you today about purslane and why I think it's a common weed. May have it growing in your yard, but you can purchase them. I encourage everyone, if you don't know what they are exactly or don't have them, to go purchase one. They're not that expensive and they'll go on forever. But it has fantastic properties. I think it is one of those you should have in your survival garden, if you will, yard, know how to use it. So I'm going to go over the benefits and everything like that. But I would need to let y'all know there is a very dangerous look-alike. It's called a spurge, and they grow in the same kind of pattern. They both kind of have a reddish stem to them and the way they grow. So a couple things you can tell the difference. And again, if you don't know 100%, leave it alone no matter what it is. Always be, safe rather than sorry. But okay, so with the purslane, it kind of has more of a succulent type leaf than the spurge does. But they're shaped the same. So that's one way. But then another thing is if you take the stem and you break it open, a spurge is going to have that milky white glue looking sap. If you see that in most any plant except for dandelion, leave it alone. That if you see that, just assume that is poisonous. So the spurge, when you break open the stem, if it'll have that milky sap, it is poisonous. Don't even mess with it. And the thing is they also grow usually alongside each other. The purslane will not have that white milky sap stuff come out of it, okay? But again, if you are not 100% sure, just leave things alone. But you can purchase purslane, a lot of different garden centers, different things like that, and it'll go on forever. It'll take over. I do mine in containers because of that, but it's great. So let's go over some of the benefits and things like that. Now, purslane is the absolute highest plant in omega-3s. I always stress about all the benefits of omega-3s. That's going to be your brain health and, so many different things you need omega-3s for. But as far as a plant goes, this is your highest one in that. So you need that. It's rich in vitamin A, C, and E, and beta carotene, iron, magnesium, potassium, and calcium. It is an anti-inflammatory, antimicrobial, and because it's antimicrobial, this is one plant that you can use for stuff like staph and strep. So keep that in mind. And antifungal, it's a flavonoid, so that means it's going to be an antioxidant, which is fantastic. I talk about that stuff all the time. It is really, really good for cardiovascular health. It helps regulate your blood pressure. It is a great anti-cancer, preventive cancer, especially lung or oral cancers, brain cancer, colon cancer. So you know me, always preventive care. Just do it. You incorporate these things and those things don't take hold. It does protect, because of the calcium, ladies, against osteoporosis. I talk all the time that the majority of your help in preventing osteoporosis or from that progressing anymore is a lot of it is from herbs and plants, not going and, taking calcium pills. And again, I always think, especially ladies or anyone that has anything with, taking any kind of calcium stuff, is you got to take your vitamin K too, so it knows where to go, or all that calcium, especially if you take calcium supplements, all it does is build up in your soft tissue and your heart and things like that and causes major issues. Purslane also lowers cholesterol, so that helps again with the cardiovascular health. It does the beta carotene and things, and the vitamin A and stuff. It protects against macular degeneration and cataracts. Fantastic for your eye health. Again, preventive stuff, right? Good for GI and urinary issues. Now, urinary issues, whether if you have an overactive bladder, if you have things like that, but I'm going to get into some warnings, but with that, don't make that confused. If you have kidney disease, you shouldn't have, or you should be very cautious with purslane. And again, I'll put things in my descriptions, but that has a warning if you have kidney disease. Bronchial issues, lungs, asthma, coughs, or anything. This is one that pairs very well with mullein. I talk about mullein being, your lung tonic, especially those who have had the C19 illness or have it, Or if you just have an upper respiratory thing and you're having, lung type symptoms with that, or congestion or inflammation, mullein is such a good go-to. That should be on hand. But this one pairs very, very well with mullein. I suggest that to go with it. Now, it is an analgesic property, so that gives you that pain relief. Some people are sensitive to that, so if you're trying this for the first time, usually this is pretty well tolerated little plant. Some people are more sensitive to that, so always try it first. And, anything, I always say, if something new you haven't had before, do a little poultice and do your skin patch test on the inner part of your arm. I did a video about that some time back. That you're going to know if you get a reaction on on a skin patch test or anything like that, don't ever take it internally. So now natives, a lot of times this is written in our family books and everything. It was highly used for earaches and an antidote for any kind of poisoning. They would do purslane. So that was something I knew growing up, that was a kind of a go-to for those two things. Now, it does help depression, brain health. Again, the omega-3s and the vitamins are in it. I talk different things about brain health, the depression, anxiety, how a lot of that is mineral and vitamin deficiencies. This is a good one for that and preventing that and treating that. Now, it is also used, and there's been studies on this as well. It is used for like abnormal uterine bleeding women. And, there's like a roasted, the way they do a roasted seed powder for that. You can look that one up because you can order this in different things, also different forms if you want, if you don't want to do it yourself. But there's a roasted seed powder stuff they do, and you take it for at least 2 months. If you have like abnormal uterine bleeding, ladies, this is a good help for that. Now, as far as the warnings, this does have oxalates in it. So with that can aggravate if you have kidney disease or those with rheumatoid arthritis. It can aggravate that. So be cautious if taking it, or ask your doctor if it's safe, what they think. And, always go low and slow and see how you tolerate it, and see with anything. See if you have any kind of, adverse reactions or aggravates something that you may have going on already. But this is a fantastic one. Please always be safe. And again, remember how I said that, to tell the difference between this, it has a very, very dangerous lookalike called Spurge. Do research on that. And if it has any of that, or you aren't sure, please just leave it alone. But this is a fantastic one. I think everyone should have in like a survival garden in your yard, a container or something. It has so many benefits. I think I'm going to do a video on a survival garden herbs, like, vegetables, fruits, and herbs. I'm trying to get somebody to do a live with me about that. I think I'm going to try to work that out, but I think I just want to go over kind of a survival garden type things. A lot of people ask me about that. So anyways, wanted to share it. Everyone stay well. God bless, and I will see you next time.